Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about how to change your Peloton bike pedals, how to remove your Peloton bike pedals or echelon bike pedals. And I got to tell you, the right crank arm, the right pedal, and the left pedal on the Peloton bike or echelon bike are different. If you don't get this right, you can possibly strip the threads on your pedals or crank arm, and that will cause you a problem. But this is very easy to avoid if you just know the tips I'm about to share with you in this video here to change your Peloton bike pedals, so stay tuned. As you can probably tell, this is not a Peloton bike. This is a echelon indoor cycling bike, but it really doesn't matter what kind of bike you're on. Changing the pedals on your bike is always the same on all bikes. First and foremost, I want to tell you the left crank arm and left pedal are counter threaded, so you will actually turn these right to loosen them and left to tighten them. So don't make this mistake and strip the threads on your crank arm or pedal by turning it the wrong way. In this particular video, we're going to be removing these cage style pedals on the bike and be putting these SPD style pedals on the bike. And when our Peloton bike arrives in a few days, they come with the Delta pedals, but we have SPD style shoes. And the reason we have those is because you can actually walk on these shoes much more normally than if you got a Delta cleat on the bottom of your shoe. In order to change the pedals on your Peloton bike or your echelon bike, all you really need is a 15mm wrench that is fairly skinny. This is the exact wrench that came with the echelon bike, and your Peloton bike comes with one as well. This kind of wrench will not work because it's too thick and it won't fit on the pedal. And no, you don't need a hammer, but this might come in handy, and I'll show you in a moment. Alternatively, if your wrench will not fit on the pedal, I have this Park Tool Allen key. This is basically just like a bike tool that has a variety of things on it that is useful for a bicycle, and this Allen key is one of them. And you definitely do not need this big pedal removing tool I got sold on many years ago. This is kind of helpful every now and then, but you definitely do not need this. Starting with the left pedal here, you will see that you can put your 15mm wrench right in here, and on the left side, you turn clockwise to loosen it. That is righty-tighty to loosen the left pedal. The right crank arm is normal threading, but you definitely don't want to make the mistake of trying to do lefty-loosey, taking off the pedal on the left side, because you will end up stripping the threading on the crank arm or on the pedal. So in order to remove this pedal on the left crank arm, all we do is get our wrench nice on there. Here's an example of the crescent wrench. It just won't fit in the gap between the pedal and the crank arm. And even my big tool here that I got sold on many years ago, it won't even fit in this gap on this particular pedal. But usually on most pedals it does. For some reason, the clearance on these pedals is extra tight and it just doesn't fit. So all we do here is take the wrench and put it in there and turn to the right. And if it's too difficult to turn clockwise, that's where the hammer comes in handy. But here you can see it just kind of loosened up, and then you can just unthread it. If you find the information in this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up because it really helps out this channel and helps support the channel. Now, if you're 100% sure you're turning it the right way and you can't get it to loosen up, you can kind of just give the wrench a little tap with a hammer, and that should help it get the extra torque that it needs to loosen up. I'd also like to point out, on the inside of the pedal, there is usually a place that you can insert a Allen wrench. So if for some reason you don't have the right size wrench, you could use a Allen key on the back side of the pedal. It is a little more difficult, but it can be done. And so on the left crank arm, all you do is just continue turning righty-tighty to loosen the pedal until it's all the way off. At some point, it will usually get a little more easy, so you don't have to use the wrench anymore. You can see the threading on the cheap pedal that came on the echelon bike is much longer than on this SPD pedal. In an ideal world, you want to put some lubricant on this threading before you just start screwing in the pedal, but I don't have any, so I'm not going to. Here's an example of the back side of this SPD pedal. It has the Allen key. So all you do is you just put the Allen wrench in there with the Park tool if that's the way you want to do it. When you go to put the pedal on your Peloton or echelon or whatever indoor bike you have or outdoor bike, you definitely want to make sure you have the left pedal for the left side, which is usually indicated somewhere on the actual pedal. Right here you can see there is an L right there on the left side of this pedal. The next thing I would say you really want to be certain you do is when you put the pedal on, you want to start tightening the bolt with hand tightening, you don't want to jump straight in and use the wrench because it's really easy to get, if you got the threads cross-threaded, it'd be really easy for you to apply too much torque and accidentally cross-thread the threading and basically destroy the crank arm or the pedal or both. So just kind of get it on there. And this pedal's really dirty, so I've had this pedal for 7 years now. So you just want to use something to protect yourself from all of the dirt and grease. But anyway, you just kind of start hand tightening it. And again, you have to remember that it is, you turn to the left, lefty-loosey on the left crank arm of your Peloton or echelon or any indoor cycling bike you have. And once you have it kind of tightened up a little bit, then you can use your cheap little wrench that comes in the box with your Peloton, or any indoor cycling bike you have probably has this tool. And you just kind of want to snug it up a little bit. You really don't need to go crazy. You don't want to over tighten it because you could possibly strip the threading. It is a self-tightening system, so that is the whole reason why the left pedal is counter threaded, because as you pedal, it will try to naturally tighten up. So just kind of give it a little snug. You don't need to go crazy really. There really is no need to have a big wrench like this one I got sold on many years ago. This thing will probably allow you to just apply too much torque to the pedal. Really, you don't need it to be that tight. Oh shoot, look what I've done. I've made a mess. However, the planter has survived, so that's good. And here we are on the right side of the bike, indicated by the right on the pedal. The right side is just normal threading, so you want to do lefty-loosey to loosen the left side. In this example, I'll just be pulling up on this wrench a little bit. And again, you just continue to turn counterclockwise on the right crank arm to completely loosen the pedal and remove it. Okay, so now we're gonna put the pedal on the right crank arm of the Peloton bike, or actually this is the echelon bike right now. But all we do is we wanna start out hand threading it again. And I'm trying to kind of protect my fingers from this dirt a little bit because this pedal is like 7 years old and I use it on my outdoor bike as well. Anyway, we wanna start hand tightening it because you don't wanna just jump right in there with a wrench, because you could accidentally get it cross-threaded a little bit and apply too much torque and basically strip the threads on either the pedal or on the crank arm of the bike, in which case you will have a bigger problem on your hands you will need to resolve. So now I kind of got it started, finger tightening it a little bit, so I'll get out my cheap 15mm wrench here and just kind of turn it righty-tighty on the right crank arm of the Peloton bike and just kind of snug it up here. And you don't need to go crazy. You just kind of get it tight, and then you can give it a little extra, snug it up, tighten it up. But it is a self-tightening system. As you pedal forward, this bike will naturally try to tighten itself up. Don't worry about over-tightening it, you just don't need to. Both of these shoes here are SPD style cleats that just has this little cleat. There's a lot of options available on the market. As you can see, these shoes, I've had these ones for a long time. They're really ugly. I just haven't invested in getting a nicer pair like my girlfriend has here. Sabrina's shoes are beautiful. I wish they made something like this for men, but I haven't been able to find anything. But like I was saying, the bottom of the cleat here basically just kind of is flush with the ground, so you can walk around town like in a normal shoe. Why would you want to change the pedals on your Peloton? Well, there's really a lot of reasons. You might not want the Delta style pedals they have. You might already have SPD style shoes. They also make pedals that have like a flat side on one side or SPD on the other side. And there's all kind of variations. I'll put a link in the description box below this video so you can check out some of the more popular style pedals and some of the better rated style pedals for whatever particular pedal you're looking for. As far as the difference in Delta versus SPD, I've never used the Delta style pedals, but a lot of people say that SPD and Delta, there really is no difference. A lot of like the road racers, they use the Delta style, whereas these are kind of considered to be like a mountain bike style pedal. Most reviews say that there really isn't much of a difference in either style pedal, but a lot of times people have a preference on one or the other. I really like the SPD style pedals. It might make sense to get like a pedal that has like SPD on one side and like a flat or cage style pedal on the opposite. So like it would be a pedal like this basically, but on the back side it would have the SPD cleat. So I can put a link to that in the description box below this video. But really, the main benefit of having the SPD style clip is just like you can have like a normal style shoe, but you also get the benefits of being able to clip in and get that clip in riding experience as well. So in order to clip in, all you do is this is just kind of something that'll come to you naturally over time, but you have to line it up and then you just step straight down. And you'll hear it click in and then you are clipped in. So you don't want to like pull up on the pedal as you go around, but you want to kind of pedal in like a circular motion. There's a lot of benefits to clipping in, but one of the big ones is it increases your confidence for like when you get out of the saddle, you know your foot's not going to slip off your pedal on your Peloton bike or your echelon bike. And to unclip from your clip-in style pedals, all you do is kind of rotate your foot to the side and it'll pop off. It's easiest to clip in and clip out when the pedal's on the bottom position. So generally you just rotate your foot like out a little bit to the left, but it'll also work if you turn it to the inside, like that. And if you find it's really difficult to unclip your foot from the pedal, you just want to loosen up this bolt down here. Like I was saying, down here on the bottom of the pedal, there's this little bolt, and you can see on one side it has a plus and the other it has a minus. So to make it more difficult to clip in, you just rotate this Allen key bolt to the right and you rotate it to the left to make it uneasier to clip in. So if you're finding it really difficult to unclip from your pedals, don't end up like breaking your knee or something by trying to rotate too difficult. You just want to come down here with your tool and just loosen up that bolt. On the other hand, if you're coming unclipped too easily or you feel like your foot is unclipping, you just tighten it up. And this park tool here is pretty handy if you have stuff to work on with bikes regularly. It just kind of has all the stuff you need, and here's another example of that. So I'm not going to adjust these because I have them where I want. Well, I could turn it for you. So yeah, you just give a little click to the right or the left, just depending on which way you would like to go. If you find the information in this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up because it really helps out this channel and helps support the channel. And if you'd like to check out some of the top rated pedals and pedals I would recommend for swapping out in terms of SPD, Delta, or just multiple style pedals, you can click the link in the description box and see what's out there. So if you wanted to change out your pedals on your Peloton bike or your echelon bike or any indoor cycling bike you have, I hope this video has been helpful to you. That's all I have for you today. See you next time.